a controlled climate than they do out on my patio all summer, because we just get so hot and dry that they just don't do well. They don't bloom. But I gave this guy, all of these guys, a feed a couple days ago or last week, so they're gonna start putting out, as you can see here, new buds. So what I like to do is just a lot of dead. See all these dead leaves here? I like picking all those out. And also look for worm activity, because I do have signs of budworms. So for those of you who don't know what budworms are, the little white moths and brown moths. The white ones are called looper moths. And then there's these little brown moths that fly around during the day, and they lay eggs. And what happens is, I don't know if you can see. Can you see the holes? You can see the hole, the round hole right there, chewed right through that. And so the budworms have gotten to this, and they chew the bud and the little color part. And so when your geranium goes to bloom, A, either it don't bloom, or B, it will bloom and it'll have big holes in it. So those little buggers, and then you can see here, this leaf here has a nice big hole in it. So I know that I have worm activity, and I know that there's worms in here, so I gotta find them. And usually what I do is, if it's summertime out, I will go feed them to my lizards. So I have little wild lizards that run around my garden, my patio up there. They live in between the bricks, and they come out during the summer. And there's some still poking around. They were laying in the sun trying to warm up. And if I can see a lizard, I will go ahead and give them the budworm, and they'll eat it. So I have video of me doing that on my TikTok. I call it my garden friends. And if you find it, I reposted it a week or two ago, but it has a title, Garden Friends. It shows rabbits and stuff, and then I think it does show me feeding one of the lizards a couple worms I had picked off my broccoli last year. Good job, lizard. Good job. Yeah, good to wormy. And they come right up to me. They're like little dogs. They'll come right up. I go, you want a wormy? And they'll come up, and they see the worm, and they run right over to me. They've gotten so used to me, like, feeding them, that they know what I have in my hand when I have one or two. And it's a good little meal for them. And it doesn't make the worm go to waste, because instead of just squishing it and throwing it on the ground, at least another little species got to benefit from it. So it's a win-win. But I'm looking for the budworms. They usually like to be on the stem, or they like to be under the leaves. So, and they change colors. So if they're eating a red geranium, they're gonna be like a pink worm. So they'll, depending on what they're eating, they will change color and they blend in. Now this one's got all kinds of holes in it. Let's see. Can you see right there? My finger. I'm trying to work this camera. Right there, there's a hole. So, and you can see there's other little holes in the bottom right there. So budworms have gotten to that one too, this bloom. So, and they'll either eat the whole thing or just a partial, and then you don't get anything. And let me look down in there, see if I can find one. Also, another sign is things that look like little pieces of black pepper, little black or dirt, and that's their feces. And when you see that, which I see a lot of it in here, I'm kind of breaking this open to see if I can see a worm in here, but I'm not seeing a worm. And so I see the poop, I see the holes, and I'm like, yep, I have budworms. So when I see that, I look for them, try to pick them off, and then I'll spray my plant with neem oil, and the neem oil will deter them. I don't know if they die from it. They may, but I try to keep the neem oil on it, and that way it kind of just deters. I don't know if the moths can sense it before they lay their eggs, but they are a little nemesis, the budworms.